welcome to my podcast. My name's Sam and you can find me as Betsymakes on YouTube, Instagram, Ravelry. My web store is betsymakes.co.uk. I've got a blog which is betsymakes.blogspot.co.uk, and I'm the Sewing Mistress 2 on Twitter, although I do think I need to change that to Betsymakes if I can, so I'll have to look into that. Thanks for joining me. This is episode 50 of my podcast, which is really exciting. So yeah, I'll talk a bit more about my 50th celebrations a bit later on in this podcast. But basically I like to talk about my knitting and my sewing and my crochet here. So thanks for joining me, and I'm here in Bedford, UK. That's where I am. I'm looking out the window and we're mid-December nearly, and it's a fairly bright day. It's quite breezy. It's dry, at least, because yesterday was awful. It rained all day long and it was really depressing. So it's slightly better today. Fairly mild, I think. No frost or ice or anything like that, and certainly no snow. Yeah, it's just kind of an ordinary day, really. Anyway, this podcast is not about the weather, although, you know, do like to comment on it. Anyway, the first thing I'll show you, actually, which is a finished object in a sense, is my Christmas sweatshirt. Yay! This is it's just come out tumble dry, actually. It's probably a little bit creased, but it's a plain grey sweatshirt that I purchased. I wanted a big oversized one. I got this from Pretty Little Thing, which is a website that my daughters order from a lot, actually. But yeah, it was relatively cheap, nice big oversized sweatshirt. And then I appliqued these stockings on here, which I did using a size 6 die cut. I think it was the big dies or something. So yeah, I just stitched a straight line across from armhole to armhole, and then yeah, I put these little tiny weeny little buttons on there as well. These have gone a bit fluffy in the wash, but I don't mind that, actually. It kind of frayed a bit, but that's okay. So I just thought that would make a nice festive jumper. I went down to the post office just now to send off some orders, and it's Christmas jumper day there, so they've all got their Christmas jumpers on. And the women look all glamorous, but the guy that owns it, I don't know, it looks like his mum's put it on him. You know, it looks like a little boy. I can't explain it, but yeah, bless him. So I'm going to have a sip of my tea, actually, because I wanted to show you my mug. This is my Christmas movie watching mug, and in it I have tea, and it's Tetley gingerbread. And I thought I'd mention it because it's part of a gift from my lovely friend Sandra, who is so generous and inspiring because she does Christmas so well. She just, you know, she just makes... I've been watching her Vlogmas. Have you been watching it? So she's Cherry Heart, which you probably know. I think I mentioned Sandra in every single episode I record because we're friends and we're into the same sort of thing. We like similar things. So you probably know who I'm talking about. I'm sure you do. And you may be watching her Vlogmas as well, which is really good. But if not, do check it out because it's lovely. It's a lovely way to... I've been watching Sandra's and Jules from So Sweet Violet, but there's other ones I want to catch up with, and bearing in mind that it's now it's the 13th of December today, so yeah, I could do with a bit of binge watching, but I quite like watching them like all one after the other, actually. Works well for me. But yeah, so the present... well, part of the present that Sandra gave me for Christmas was an advent box. So it's a lovely box filled up with individually numbered packages from 1 to 24. And inside is a mini skein of gorgeous yarn in each one. Some of them are even 20 grams, some of them are less, but yeah, there are some 20-gram ones in there. And there's usually a sweet treat and sometimes a tea bag or a sachet of drinking chocolate. Oh, it's just, I've never had an advent like that before. I know a lot of people do them and they sell them online and you can buy them, but I've never had one. And yeah, it's just so lovely. And it's just so thoughtful, and it's so nice to open up the little packages each day. And this tea bag was in one of the packages, so I'm going to see what it tastes like. Oh, that's nice. Oh, it's very refreshing. It reminds me, gingerbread reminds me of, you know, the smell of it. You know how smells bring back memories? And my mum loved ginger nut biscuits. She used to dunk them in her tea, and yeah, it just brings back my mum having a cup of tea with her ginger nuts. So yeah, I'll put in some little bit of footage of my advent box and the minis that Sandra has been very generous to gift to me, and I'll put in some footage of my house at Christmas. I went to a Christmas wreath making workshop on Wednesday evening with a good friend of mine, Linda, and that was nice. I've never done that before. It's run by a lady called Zana, and she's Rose Hip Bespoke on Instagram. So she's a florist, and so she does wedding flowers and funeral flowers, but she also runs quite a few workshops. So I really enjoyed it. It was held in a pub in Bedford. I'd never met Zana before, but she's a lovely, lovely lady, very calming and in control. And yeah, it was fantastic, and I really enjoyed making my wreath, and I was so very proud of it. So I will have to show you a photo of that. So yeah, I'll put some footage in when I come to edit this podcast. But I will move on to other bits and pieces. I think I'll stick with the Christmas theme at the moment. You can consider this the Christmas special if you want to. But I can't remember, I think I did last year, I can't remember, but for the last couple of years I've been doing Advent socks, which the idea is to cast on the 1st December, knit a little bit each day, and then finish them by the 24th of December so that you can wear your new pair of socks on Christmas Day. So I have done that this year. I'll show you the bag I'm using, my project bag. So this is one I made, oh, it wasn't last Christmas, it was some Christmases before. You know, maybe you even bought one from me at the time. But yeah, so you can see I was using, oh, that they go that way and they go that way. Same die cut I've used, but yeah. This brooch actually, this sparkly brooch, is something my daughter gave me a couple of years ago. I've just put white lining in this, nice and fresh. But yeah, I bought some yarn from Nottingham Yarn Expo, which is a yarn festival I went to recently, fairly recently. I did a joint podcast with Sandra Cherryheart, who I went to the yarn festival with, and that's on her channel. So you may have already seen that. It was out a couple of weeks ago, but if not, I will put a link in the description bit underneath, because I talk about, I show what I bought at the festival and a few other things. So yeah. So I bought, one of the things I bought there was a little sock set from Down Sheepy Lane. Sorry, my plan over there. And it was these two balls of yarn. So this is obviously self-striping, and then you've got the contrast 20 gram mini that goes with it. And I bought some other Christmas sock yarn as well from Bird Street UK, and I was trying to decide what to do for my Advent socks, but I decided to go for this simply because it's self-striping. It's just going to be knit, knit, knit all the way around, because the colour and the yarn itself does the interest. Whereas the other one, I might do a bit more of a pattern involved, and in which case I kind of want to concentrate on. So I think I'll use what I bought from Bird Street UK as my Christmas Eve cast on. And I thought I'd use this one from down Sheepy Lane for my Advent socks. So I finished one. Bear in mind it's the 13th of December. This is good because it means I'm on track. So I finished one, and I've done a 2x2, yeah, 2x2 twisted rib at the top, and then just knit plain knitting, let the yarn just stripe itself, literally. And then I've done a heel flap and a square heel turn there, and I've done you know, knit 2 slip 2, so I thought that echoed the nice ribbon at the top. And then I think I might have gone a bit far on my foot, because I do quite like a long toe. Oops, I quite like a long toe. But yeah, but I think on it'll be fine. It's only probably about 1/4 of an inch too long, really. Just want to make sure I get it the same for the other one, because I do want them to pair. So yeah, ridiculously pleased with these as well. Aren't they gorgeous colour? So down Sheepy Lane is Debbie Dancer, who's a gorgeous person. She's very lovely, and she does some great self-striping yarn. Look at, and the colours are just gorgeous. The turquoise and this, oh, it's beautiful. So delighted with those. I finished them not yesterday. I finished the first one not yesterday, the day before. And I have started the second one, but I haven't got very far. As you can see, it doesn't show under the DPN or the needle holder that I made a while ago. I've literally just done that much. I've done 2 rows, I think. But yeah. So yeah, I'd like to think I can get a bit more of these, at least the rib finish today on the second sock. Have I done 2 rows? Yeah. I do like to count the rows on using the row counter or tally system when I'm doing rib, because I just find them hard to count. I find rib hard to count once it's made up, so I prefer to count as I go and know what I'm doing. But yeah. So yeah, completely delighted. That's a really fun, lovely project to do. And yeah, it was nice to have a think about what I was going to knit over the Christmas period. I've got some socks on that they were a Christmas sock knit before. There you go. Oh, see my big foot? I might even take it off to show you properly. I can't remember too much detail. I know the, oops, sorry, I've kicked the tripod then. I know the yarn is West Yorkshire Spinners, and it was one of their Christmas colours, pretty obviously. This is self-striping as well. But I'll have to link to my Ravelry project page if you want any more details, but as you can see, I used a lace pattern. Even though it's self-striping, I'd use a lace pattern, and I really like that. But I wouldn't mind using this pattern again for just plain, because it's pretty, isn't it? But yeah. Wear my Christmas socks and my Christmas jumper. And in the Christmas spirit, I've been wrapping presents, our trees up, and I have like I've got a cupboard with some white wooden shelves that are on the wall above it, so it looks a little bit like a small dresser, although it's 2 separate things. And I have like vintage cups and saucers on there and pretty knickknacks. But I've put all that stuff away, and I've put all my Christmas bits and pieces. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, making the house quite festive, buying a bit of Christmas food. I've got a few presents still to get. I'm making one of these bags for my daughter's teacher. I don't think she'll use it as a project bag because as far as I know she's not a knitter, although she could be. But I thought it'd be a nice thing she can put bits and pieces in, and I've got a candle and I'll put some chocolate in there and stuff like that. So yeah, I need to finish that off. So yeah, so I've been very busy doing bits and pieces like that. That is nice. It is surprisingly refreshing. It's really nice. Okay, what shall I show you next? I don't know. Let me show you my Gemstone Scarf. So I've spoken about this before on here on the podcast. It is made in this yarn, which I still have yet to conquer how to say it, so I might just show it actually. It's a stonewash. Sheep G's. I don't know, probably embarrassing myself as usual. But yeah, it's nice and stone washed. And I'm making a scarf in it, a crochet scarf made up of lots of little motifs. And I think I've shown you the middles. And I got all those made, and I'd done all the ends, and they were sitting in a nice fabric tub. And then I went on to round 3 and 4. But on round 4, let me show you what I mean. Because I want to do the join as you go method, basically, so there's the middle, and then I've done round, is it round? Yeah, round 3, and then part of round 4. And then I've left enough yarn to be able to complete the motif when it's attached to the scarf. So I've done that on all my middles. You can see my box. I've got of the ones there. I've got 12 different colours. And I mean, actually in there it doesn't look too bad, but it's a bit messy because you've got a lot of the yarn just sitting there. When I was making just the middles of the motifs, they were cute in their own way, and it was nice to just have them in a pot and play with them. But this is less aesthetically pleasing because you've got all the lots of threads ends, although that does look quite pretty in there. However, it's worth doing because I'm beginning to join them to the scarf, and it's quite quick because I'm not even doing a complete round on each one. I'm just finishing the round off and then doing the ends. So I've done a fair amount. Oh, I think that looks great. So this is the end I've started with, and just on this row here I've done the half hexes to fill in those gaps, but that's what I'll have to do because at the moment I'm just working on just the full ones. So I will fill in this and make it a straight edge with the similar type half ones. But I don't think I'm going to fill in this edge. I think I'm going to leave it zigzaggy, I think, unless I change my mind. But I am delighted with that. This is the width of it. It's going to be whatever that is. And hopefully I'm definitely not halfway, maybe a third of the way. But, oh, it's going to look nice. Oh, I've got fluff in my mouth now. Yeah, it's going to look nice, isn't it? Yeah. So, yeah, it's speeding along quite quick because, like I say, I'm not even having to do a whole round even. I'm just attaching it, each one. I have got a bit of a method for colour distribution. And this is something else I was talking about when I did a collab podcast with Sandra. So excuse me if I'm repeating myself. But the idea is, because I had 12 coloured yarns, I made a certain amount, which I can't remember now, of, you know, of the middles, and then I would take the middles and I'd take 11 middles and make 11, you know, up to this stage. And then what I do is I literally take one from each colour, making sure that they're all different centres or middles of these as well, as much as I can. And then I work in batches of 12, and I think, you know, and I sort of join them on from that. And I think that's probably the best way I can distribute the colours, making sure that, you know, I haven't forgotten to use, say, I don't know, a red one or something, and they all end up, all the red ones end up at the end. I don't want that to happen. So yeah, I'm taking, as I work, I take one from each colour. Like I say, making sure that all the centres are different colours, and join them. So yeah, I just think, I just love it. I'm going to love it more when these are straightened. It annoys me that this edge is not straight at the moment, but it's better once it is. I'm thinking about doing a border. I've got 3 natural ones that I may or may not do a border on. I really haven't decided yet. I'm going to see what it looks like when I've done all my motifs and all the half ones at the side. Yeah, so that's my Gemstone Scarf. The next thing I wanted to show you was, oh, this is Christmas related as well actually. I decided that I fancied doing a little bit of patchwork, and basically I thought I'm going to make myself a charm pack, because you can buy pre-cut charm packs in, you know, fabric ranges, all different ones obviously, and they generally are, I think you can get different sizes, but I think generally charm packs are 5-inch squares. So I got all the Christmas prints that I've used for making project bags over the years, and just cut loads of 5-inch squares out. I've actually pinned these because they're pinned into what I'm going to use for the next strip. Oh, there's some not so Christmassy ones in there, but a lot of them are. It's like the Ugly Jumper range. And I'm a sucker for holly. That's probably one of my favourite types of prints. This is pretty as well, this little sweetie one. And I think that's called Sugar Rush. That one, I think. That's the same. So like I say, I just made myself, I can't remember how many I cut, but yeah. So this is what I've done so far. It's not going to be a massive quilt. The idea is to have it out at Christmas in the front room, so you can just put it over your lap while you're watching telly if you're feeling a bit chilly. I haven't pressed this yet because I'm still joining it all. Like I said, I've got three more strips to go, but it's quite fun. So once I've finished patchworking it all together, I will quilt it, and I have just taken delivery, literally just about 20 minutes ago, of the rest of it I need. So I've got this lovely bamboo wadding, and this is from the Sewing Studio. So this is, oh, it's lovely, it's really nice. Oops. Simply Bamboo, that's the label for it, I think. Okay. Naturally green, antibacterial material, antibacterial material, eco-friendly fibre. And it says hand or machine quilt up to 8 inches apart. It's made with the softest bamboo fibre, no chemicals or bleaching. But it does say we recommend pre-washing prior to use. And hand wash, so I will do that. I think I'll do that after I finish recording. But yes, that's what I'm going to use for the wadding, so that's nice. And then, oh, excuse me. Oh, That's the wadding I got from the sewing studio. I don't know if I said that or not, but I get a lot of stuff from there. And then this, look at this. What do you think? Do you think this will look nice? So this is going to be the backing. So we'll have the patchwork on one side and this fantastic, oh, isn't that lovely? Oh, I just love that. It's quite vintage looking, isn't it? With the Father Christmases on it. It's brushed cotton, which I think is sometimes called winceyette, is it? I think. I did get it from eBay, but the seller is the Fabric Guys, and that's the card that comes with it. So I might check out the it's fabricguys.com. So I might have a look at their actual website, but I bought it via eBay. I just think, oh, it's just so, I love it. But I think I should pre-wash this as well, because in case there's any colour seepage. So I'll wash it. I'll make sure I wash the whole thing with colour catchers anyway. But I probably will pre-wash this as well as the wadding. I just think that's going to be really nice. That's nice and soft, because like I say, it's the brushed cotton or winceyette. So yeah, and I'll have to find something for the binding as well, but I've probably got something in stash that I can use for the binding. So I'll see what I think works best. But yeah, that's just a little thing. It's patchwork like that, it's so simple and basic. It doesn't really take too long to do. I like to keep the machine set up so that I can just do a strip perhaps when I've got half an hour free. And I'm not even stressing whether I get it finished for this Christmas or not. That doesn't bother me. It's more something that, I mean, it'd be nice to do it because then I can put it away with the decorations, so yeah. But it's just something to be able to get out for next year. I like the fact that Christmas makes do get put away, and that means you don't see them for the majority of the year, and then when you get everything out again, oh yeah, I'd forgotten about that. That's really nice. I'd forgotten I'd made a Christmas tree skirt last year. It's golds and whites. I've completely forgotten about that. So when we got the decorations out, it was in the box with the Christmas tree. I've got a gold Christmas tree, a champagne gold one this year. And it was in the box with it. Oh, I'd forgotten I'd got that. So that was really nice. I'll have to show you the picture of that within the footage. Like I say, it would have been inserted earlier, or it might be inserted afterwards, depends. So yeah, nice and simple project. I will quilt it. I don't know whether I'll do diagonal or I might just do a foot's width away from each seam. I don't know if I'm brave enough to do in the ditch. In the ditch is when once you've made you probably know this, but once you've made your quilt sandwich, which is the backing, the wadding and the top of the quilt, you need to stitch through it to make it all sit together. And you can make the stitches go literally where the seam is, so right on the join, and it's called quilting in the ditch. But it's quite difficult because if you go slightly wonky, it comes off, it does look a bit messy. So I don't know if I'm brave enough to do that. So I might just quilt a foot's width from the seam instead, which will be easier, especially once it's pressed. So yeah, that's a little thing I've been working on. And I did want to show you something else as well. This is an old thing. Oh, I've knocked the tripod again, sorry. So this is an old thing, but it's become relevant again because it's to do with Frozen, and Frozen 2, the movie Frozen 2 has just been released in the UK recently. Probably other parts of the world as well, I would imagine. And I went to see it with my little girl, my youngest daughter, and her cousins, because it was her cousin's 8th birthday at the beginning of December. So we went at the end of November actually. And we went to a restaurant with, there was 9 little girls all together, and me and Abigail's mum and dad. So yeah, we started off at the cinema and then we went and had pizza afterwards, so it was all good fun. But yeah, we went to see Frozen 2, and obviously I went to see it because I was taking my little girl and it was her cousin's birthday. But it was really good. It was actually really good. It was well thought through. It was funny. The animation's just amazing. I just really enjoy the animation. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought they did a really good job of doing the sequel, because the first one came out, I think, 6 or 7 years ago. Probably 6 years ago, I think. Anyway, the reason I'm talking about that now is because a while ago I made and designed a small blanket. It's a coverlet, and I called it the Elsa Coverlet, so I will show you it. If I hold it up, you can see that the white snow drops get more dense at the bottom. So that's where the snow is settled, and further up it's just where it's falling. So yeah. So these are hexagons as well, done in the join as you go method. Oh yeah. I've just done a very simple little border on that side, but I've done something a bit more fancy at each end. A little bit more fancy. And so this is a pattern that's been available for a while. Like I say, I'm sort of bringing it up again because it's relevant, because the movie's out, the 2 is out. I just washed it. Now, I should have really done a bit of research because I can't remember what yarn I used. It is an acrylic yarn, it's quite inexpensive, but I certainly will leave a link and a bit of info. The majority of the show notes I'll put on my blog post, but I will put a few bits and pieces down below this YouTube video as well. Yeah, and what I was going to say, the pattern is available, and it's one of the patterns that I have done in both UK terminology and US terminology. So it's quite a rare one, and it's available on Love Crafts and Ravelry. It's available those 2 places. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you. And like I say, it's the snow settles there, but further up it's just falling. Yeah. I don't know if you can see, but it has got a slight glitter to it. I don't know, you might be able to see that, look. It's got a little bit of metallic in there. So yeah. So that's the Elsa Coverlet. That, yeah, it's not massive, but again, it's quite nice for my little girl to put on. She likes to play with that as well as use it for warmth. So as I said at the beginning of the episode, this is number 50, and I thought that is an ideal time to do a giveaway. Yay, giveaway. So I'm going to run the giveaway over on Ravelry. So I will open a thread at some point today, and I'll put a prompt in there, and I think I will do random act of kindness prompt. So what I'd like you to do is tell me some sort of random act of kindness you've carried out, And don't be shy, because it will make you look good as well. Because you can say, yes, I was kind and I did whatever, but that's okay as long as you are kind to another. And I don't want it to be something that costs lots of money. I don't want you to go out and spend loads of money on expensive gifts for somebody. It's more little acts of kindness, paying compliments to somebody. You could spend a day saying something nice about every single person you meet. You could, you know, take your time, spend some time doing a job for someone else, helping somebody out. Obviously there's many things you can do. I don't need to list them all, but I want to make sure you don't feel like it's a money thing. I mean, if you wanted to buy a sandwich and give it to somebody who looks a bit hungry, that's fine, because it's a couple of quid. Or if you want to make a cake for someone and you buy the ingredients, again, you know, that's okay. But it's about doing a nice thing, a small thing. Perhaps, I don't know, looking after someone's kids, taking them to the cinema so their parents can have some time to themselves to do some Christmas shopping, or, you know, whatever, anything. But I will run the giveaway actually till the end of January, I've decided, because there's so much going on at the moment that you may not have time. But yeah, that's what I'd like to do. So when I open the random act of kindness thread in Ravelry, please leave a comment about your act of kindness. It's something that you do to someone else, not what someone's done for you, but what you have done for somebody else or some other people. And there will be at least one prize. I haven't organised anything yet, but I certainly will get something sorted out, yarn and project bag related. But yes, calling all designers, yarn dyers and bag makers too. If you'd like to donate prizes to this giveaway, I'd appreciate it very much. And that can count as your random act of kindness if you want to, but you'd obviously have to add it to the Ravelry list. But like I say, don't be shy. It can make you look good as well. And there's nothing wrong with that, as long as the intention is kindness for someone else. So yeah, I'll open the thread. I'll keep it open until the end of January, and I will announce the winner at the beginning of February at some point when I record then. So I hope you'd like to take part in that. But yeah, it's just to celebrate my 50 podcasts, I just want to appreciate my viewers, really, you guys who are always so lovely and always leave nice comments that I'm really dreadful at replying to. It's one of my worst traits, I think, but that doesn't mean it's not appreciated. So yeah, it's just my way of saying thank you. So I think what I'll do is I will talk about prizes on my next recording. Hopefully that will be an in-between one, and then announce winners in early February. That is the plan. So yeah, hope that's something you'd like to join with. And yeah, if anyone would like to donate prizes, that's going to be appreciated. So that's it for today, I think. I've got nothing else to show you here. But thanks ever so much for joining me. And I'll leave you with a bit of Christmas footage from around my house. Take care. Bye. you.